And this is TB Shores. It's June the 16th, 2018. I wanted to show you a few things and pick back up on discussing some things that I was discussing in the last few videos that you've seen of mine. But first, I want to point out something. As you can see, right here is today's date. It's June the 16th, 2018. This is stellarium. This is showing us the location of the sun as of today. And as you can see, it is just leaving or just left Taurus and is on its way to Gemini. And the reason I bring this up is because we know that in the last few videos, and several of them, all of them but one actually, was posted last year when the Lord gave me a phrase that simply stated, over by a period of May 22nd. And that took me on a journey of trying to seek out what the Lord was trying to tell me with that. Those of you who have watched the videos, you'll understand. Those of you who haven't, please go back and watch and get a full understanding of what I'm trying to say. But that time frame led me to Gemini, because we know that the so-called horoscope zodiacs are on a 12-month cycle, and it's all about the sun being in a constellation at a certain period of time. And the reason the Lord had me focus on May 22nd is I was to learn from that date about time periods surrounding that date. Okay, normally, the sun would have already been in Gemini and would soon be coming out. Gemini normally would end on June the 21st. But something has changed, okay? Something has changed with the constellations and things that are in the heavens. And I spoke about this on the videos from last year about how a 13th zodiac had been added in. I'm not going to get into all that. But my point is, the sun is not falling in the constellations the same way that it did in times past. Because Gemini typically would end on June 21st. But if you'll watch what I'm about to do here and take stellarium up to June 21st right here. This is today. And you'll see by the movement of the sun that it is June 21st that the sun actually enters into Gemini. So that lets us know that the things in the heavens are running a month behind. It's important that we understand this, because the Lord was pointing me to Gemini. He was pointing me to May 22nd, Gemini, what that represents, and all the information that I would find therein. Now, the reason I'm going back and revisiting this, if you'll remember, a YouTuber that passed away, Brian, had sent me an email that he had had a dream about videos I was going to put up. Now, this was last year. The Lord had given him a dream about videos I had put up, and he had sent me an email stating that these videos would be important. So I have been revisiting what the Lord had given me during that time to see if I could glean anything of further importance out of them, because I felt I wasn't comprehending everything the Lord wanted me to get. But it's important that we understand that this June 21st, which is a few days away, which is also summer solstice, is June the 21st, the day the sun actually enters Gemini. Which means the time frame the Lord was speaking to me about is, best I understand it, to begin on June 21st. Now keep in mind, May 22nd led us to understand Gemini. It's not about the date May 22nd. It's about what the Lord led me to understand that surrounds that date. Okay? He wanted me to seek out a period of May 22nd. Not the date of May 22nd. A period is a length of time. So it's about a time frame. And it's about Gemini. If you go back and watch the videos, you'll understand all that. But I wanted you to see that today, let me back this up, the 16th, the sun has not even entered Gemini yet. Okay? That won't happen until the 21st. And it's important that we understand that. If you'll excuse me just a minute, I've got to watch my time. Okay. So I'm going to close this because all I wanted to point out there was how the sun is not in the Gemini constellation until June the 21st. And that's a few days away. Now I'm going to shut this down so I can get to some other things I need. Okay. This is the video I started with back 3 weeks ago, which is entitled A Look Back and Understanding God's End Time Plan. And I tried to explain in this video about, yes, and I put this up on May 20th of this year, about Brian's dream and give more detail about some things concerning that. Because I feel like, especially because Brian has passed away, that it was important to revisit what he had sent me, because he stressed that the dream the Lord had given him about videos I was going to put up was indicating that what I was going to share was important, that these videos were important. So I'm revisiting them now, okay? Again, trying to get a clearer picture. Okay, here we are looking at my videos. Now, I just want to point out, this is where this began last year, where the Lord spoke to me over by a period of May 22nd. And I covered it in 1, 2, 3 videos. Now, this one had come up missing, and I reloaded it. That's why it's up here. Then we had the Shavuot, Is It Time to Go? And we had 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And these are up here because they had come up missing. So you'll have to bounce around a little bit to listen to them in order. But the one that I want to point out right now is this one here, which is entitled, now I did this September 22nd last year. It is entitled, It Was Due in June. Bear with me, I'm checking my time again. Okay, now I'm going to let you listen to a portion of this, okay? Just listen right here. This dream I had on August the 19th. And it was very simple. I was with a pregnant woman. And I just simply asked her, when is your baby due? And her reply to me was, it was due in June. And that struck me very odd. The first thing I thought of was how the Lord had me in June, connected with the Gemini. And Gemini, let's just look at that for a minute. Gemini, the old time frame, was May 22nd through June 21st. And Gemini, the new time frame, was June 21st through July 20th. Okay, there we see the June 21st again. Okay, keep in mind now, Gemini is on the new time frame, and it begins on June 21st, which is summer solstice. The old time frame was May 22nd through June 21st. It's important to understand that because the Lord had gotten me to understand. He wanted me to look at Gemini by showing me over by a period, a time frame of May 22nd. A time frame of May 22nd The only thing that links to a time frame of May 22nd is the constellation Gemini. So here we see, even last year, the Lord was leading me to understand that the time frame for Gemini had changed. And as I showed you on Stellarium, even now, the sun is not in Gemini as of yet and will be in just a few days on June 22nd. June 21st. It is significant. Now, just what is the Lord pointing me to there? I can't say for certain. There are a lot of things that lead me to think I understand, but I have learned in the past what I understand at a given moment is not the full understanding as I will be given down the road when I see the full picture. So when I put this stuff up last year, I wasn't seeing the full picture. Here where it says it was due in June, I did not understand that until just recently. To say, now this pregnant woman, her baby is due. Now, we're waiting on a birth. The birth of the sons and daughters of God, okay? That's what we're waiting on. In my other videos, I cover discussing God's bigger plan than what people have understood in times past. God's plan goes way beyond a rapture. Am I saying there's no rapture? No, I'm not. But I'm saying that too many people want to cut it off right there. God's plan is far bigger than just a rapture. And He's trying to get us to understand that. But the thing here, it was due in June. The woman told me, I asked her, when is your baby due? And she says, it was due in June. Was meaning before. It should have been here. That's when it was due. The fact remained that she was pregnant, which means it was yet to come. Okay? Which tells us exactly what's going on right here. It was the Gemini time frame. But it's going to be a different time frame. Just as her due date was in June, but since she was pregnant, that had changed, okay? Now, to speak in June, it's like it's giving us a past tense here, which would, what comes before June? May. But it's saying due in June. So this is kind of like playing on words or wordage to point us to what was before so we can see about the pregnant woman and when the baby is due in June. And I know that's hard to understand. I just did get it recently that the Lord was showing us the past time frame to get us to understand the coming time frame, okay? I'm going to cut this off right here. I don't want to run so long that it has a problem loading. And I may continue in another video trying to explain, or this may be it. I just have to see what the Lord wants. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.